Good morning. I'm a minute early. Haha. I am not Johnny come lately. I'm Johnny come early. Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? Thursday morning. What a day. What a day. What a day it was yesterday. What a day it will be tomorrow. All right. We got an awesome 5 people. Sweet. We have the awesome Mr. Sadie, the awesome Bum Crack Picker, the awesome Mike. What is going on? Nothing much here. Nothing much. Nothing much. I need a show topic. How about knives? Let's talk about knives. What is this one? Little pen knife. They still call them pen knives? This says, I can't read it, it's too small. Bear MGC. Bear MGC. It's a little bitty pocket knife. Didn't they used to call these pen knives? I think my dad called these little bitty knives like this pen knives. They still call them that? Hey, bum crack. This one. Can't do without magnification. Anyway, got a couple of knives to sell. Got an old timer here. You know, old timer, Schrade old timer. But, boom, the blade's broken off at the tip. That sucks. It's probably a $20 knife. Now it's just, I don't know, maybe $1 at the garage sale. Case is your favorite. I like case knives. I like buck knives. I like all the military knives. I got one big old survival knife. Where did I put that sucker? No. This is a machete. Machete. Makes you feel like a real man if you got a machete attached to your hip. Now that's a knife. This was made by Legitimus Collins in the United States of America. And it's got the leather scabbard with the metal belt clip. I guess for taking in the jungles of Canada or somewhere. I don't know. Where would you use a big old machete? Yeah, this has got to be vintage. Let's look them up. Look them up. I'm not doing anything. Legitimus Collins. Here, we'll screen share it. This is interesting. Share. And go to eBay and look. Machete. Look at the sold listings. Are y'all seeing this? And they sell for... They took a best offer on one kind of like mine. Came in several different varieties, obviously. About 40 bucks, 50, 60. I don't see one exactly like mine with the same scabbard. It's not too stabby. I'm not seeing one with the same scabbard exactly. Well, that one kind of is. Original listing sold for $51. No, not exact. Well, I don't know, pretty close. Close enough. That's about a $50 blade. Gotta get it listed. There's stuff sitting around I haven't listed yet. Can you believe that? I keep thinking, man, I'm running out of stock to list. I better buy some more at the auction. And then I look at my death pile and go, oh my God, that's the good stuff. All right. I need a co-host. So here we go. I'll put a link in the side chat. And we'll get to talking. Because I'm kind of boring all by myself. I've said it before and I'll say it again because that's the truth. So, and this had popped in finally. You don't know how you can sell weapons on eBay. It's a machete. It's for cutting down jungle foliage. Your good friend collected case knives. He passed about 3 years ago. Mochin Pal. I don't know. 63. I don't know the year of manufacture on it. I have to do some more research on it.
Jim walks around with a machete when we do fencing.
You have to. I mean, you might come across a patch of poison ivy
like a
or
Vietnam
something.
era machete he's gonna sell, and somebody's like, I don't know how you can. I'm surprised you can sell a weapon on eBay. Todd's like, it's not a weapon. It's for cutting down jungle brush. And I said, when we do fencing, you walk around with that machete because, like in the summertime here, it is a little bit like the jungle. Stuff grows like crazy, so you cut down those brush lines, when we're doing that.
Yeah, it's got a big old, pretty good sized chunk out of the end of the leather scabbard.
Yeah, but people like that Vietnam era stuff. I mean, like, look at those Vietnam era combat boots. I mean, they do good. I mean, it's just well, I mean, it's kind of funny to think, but the Vietnam War is getting far enough away where I think that stuff's a lot more collectible than it was, like, let's say, 30 years ago.
Yeah. There's a
Jim is always within 3 feet of a knife or some type of weapon. Yes. Oh, is that the guy's name?
pretty pretty cool here. Scratched in it says First Platoon Company C.
Oh, that's cool. Well, now if you Googled that, you could probably get a little history on that. You know, honestly, that'd probably do good because you got like that kind of thing, scratched in there. You could probably,
Yeah.
if you looked up that company, you could probably find, exactly where they were fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, but some of those military units have like 150-year history.
Well, what is it? First Battalion? What would you say it was?
Uh, First Platoon Company C,
All right.
and
Well,
that would be Army.
let's see if we can do a little history lesson.
And I got another military blade, Ontario. But the guy I bought it from at a garage sale, he had painted it red, white, and blue. So I worked and worked and worked trying to get that paint off of there. I mean, it's just,
Oh, he painted
I
it
got,
like after it was home.
huh?
He painted it not during war, but when it was home.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, what did
This
you
is,
say it was? First Platoon Company C?
right. Do, do, do. So this is just your basic,
Yeah, but there's a
I
lot
don't
of
know, assault blade. Now that's a knife. 63. I was almost 8 years old in 63, Mike.
It is. Well, I don't know if this has anything to do, but it does say the First Infantry Division was one of the first two divisions sent to defend the Republic of Vietnam in '65.
This doesn't say First Division. It says Company
Oh, first.
C. First Platoon.
I don't know. You'd have to probably we could dig a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting lazy.
Do, do, do. Mike
They,
says Jim wears a knife around in his underwear like Tarzan.
he does always have a knife on him. Except if you ask to borrow his knife, then he asks you what you're gonna cut with it. Because if you're gonna cut something he doesn't like, he won't let you use his knife.
same with a pistol. If you're gonna shoot something I don't want you to shoot, I'm not gonna let you use my
I
pistol.
will say a long time ago when I was up in Wisconsin, they had these World War II MREs, and I bid on them, and they went pretty high. And Jim's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know." And to this day, I still kick myself in the ass for not buying those, for listening to Jim, because the guy that sold them, I knew his eBay store, and he sold when he cashed out of them, he sold them for like $950 or something. I think they were like 3 pieces or something like that. I mean, they went incredibly high. And I think I bid them up to like 90 or 95, and Jim thought I was nuts.
Yeah.
Ontario knife.
This one says, yeah, Spec Plus Survival. So I guess this is
Ontario military survival knife.
survival. Yeah.
Is it in Ontario?
Yeah, it says Ontario.
Okay, that's good.
Oh yeah, and that must be. Oh,
Ontario knives made in the USA. It's kind of funny.
Daisy, you're driving me nuts.
I'm gonna have
oh,
to
and he
get out
painted the. Well, I wonder why the heck he painted the blade like
Try to
that,
keep it from rusting.
I
like
don't
red,
know.
white, and blue.
Oh,
It was like He probably got it when he was like a teenager at like a military surplus place, and
And
then
maybe he
just
was
thought he
like
was
Uncle
cool.
Sam or something with his, big survival knife painted in red, white, and blue. Well, now I'm kind of now
Yeah.
if I think about it that way, if you like dressed like Uncle Sam and painted a big survival knife red, white, and blue, now I'm kind of digging it.
You'd be like if Uncle Sam, G.I. Joe, and Rambo had a baby.
Yeah.
I don't think even Rambo painted his knife though. He was
No.
always sharpening it.
Mhm.
Well, that's why, yeah, actually, like an axe blade in the fire service, you don't ever paint an axe blade. They're painted red, but if you ever notice the front, like I think it's an inch and a half, or I can't remember what the spec is. It's either an inch and a half or 2 inches of the cutting edge of the blade. You got to keep the paint away from because you inspect them for cracking.
Mm.
So you're not supposed to paint the front end of the fire axe.
Hmm.
So if you wonder what firemen are doing in their off time, they're painting
Sharpening axes.
sharpening axes and painting axe heads.
And washing trucks. I swear, fire trucks are the cleanest vehicles in the
Oh my
world.
god! You wouldn't when you do an equipment check, especially if it's like the equipment van. I mean, you've got generators, saws. I mean, every single tool on the truck not only has to be accounted for, but it has to be tested. So if there's anything that runs, you have to you have to start up the generator. You have to pull the truck out and then attach or put the ground rod in the ground for the generator and then start it. I mean, it takes. I mean, the whole department, it would take us over 2 hours to do vehicle checks. It was just a big pain in the neck.
Well, I'm glad they do maintain them. That way, if I ever needed a
Even with that
fire
though,
truck,
once in a while when you go to pull it out of the barn, the truck something's wrong with it. I mean, even with that kind of checks and maintenance, you still have things come up. So you can imagine how bad it'd be if they didn't check it. You know how it is with a vehicle. There's a million things can go wrong.
yeah. But how they don't put many miles on those things. I mean,
It'd be like weird stuff. Like one time we had the water tanker. We had mutual aid was coming anyway from another town, but we had our water tanker couldn't make it to a fire just for whatever reason. Went to roll it out of the garage, out of the barn, and the one of the airlines the brakes blew. Well, now you got a brake locked up on one of your wheels because they're air brakes, and truck don't. Well, somebody tried to drive it a mile and they quit because I mean the wheel was like cherry red, but they were going to drive it anyway, but you really can't.
yeah, it's kind of surprising because, they don't go on road trips cross country like, the family car.
How long
Get
were
in
you a
it and
fireman? Were you like 15 or 16 years?
14.
14?
Well, thank you for your service, Jim.
Yeah, fireman,
well,
fireman Jim.
I kind of retired / got fired for anger management. But.
Anger management. How many kittens did you save from trees?
He dressed up as Sparky quite a bit.
I recovered dead cats.
Oh my god! Oh, this is good. This one you actually have to tell this story.
There's a missing. They're finding the pet.
House burnt down.
We got a cute little in the snowbank because it's wintertime. We got this cute little pet pile in front of the house. Okay, so as the pets are recovered, we put them on the pet pile. We get to I'm walking by a toy box and I go to move something and it's this toy and I'm like, why is this stuffed animal so heavy? I'm like, oh my god, it's a cat, because it's covered with like soot. It doesn't look like a cat until you pick it completely up. I'm like, okay, this is a cat they're out there calling for and stuff. Okay,
they're looking for this cat.
So I go take it out to the end of the driveway, throw it on the pet pile, and then go over to squad. One of the guy, he's also on the fire department, but he's also a cop. And I graduated high school with him. Went to Catholic school with him. Known him my whole school life. Anyway, so I walk over to Tony. And hey, Tony. He's talking to the homeowner, the woman, or the tenant. And he's like, yeah, what do you want, Carrie? I go, yeah, I found the cat. Well, the woman is in the passenger seat. He's interviewing her.
It's wintertime.
She's like, oh my god, this is oh my god, one good thing came out of this tragedy. Oh, at least the pets will have Fluffy back or whatever. So now I'm in an awkward situation. I don't know how to word it professionally. So I say, Tony? He's like, yeah. The pet is decedent.
Decedent.
I'm not sure is the actual word, but I'm trying to sound professional. It takes her. I went to school with this girl too. She was really dumb. Anyway, so she's sitting there trying to figure out what I'm saying. Then all of a sudden you see her face. She figures out what it is. She starts. Ah! He looks at me. He goes, "Carrie, get out of here!" And the electric window goes up.
Oh, that's a horrible story.
It is kind of a horror story, but it is kind of a
I
good
mean,
It was I mean, yes, I'm sorry for the cat, but at least it wasn't.
It's
one of the
funny
kids.
20
I can
years
tell you
later,
a lot
but
worse out of houses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like there was a guy that was a firefighter that tried to put out his own chimney fire, and he
Yeah.
fell through the roof of his house and passed away. So they had to get out his, dead body, and carry him out of there. Stuff like that happens.
Yeah, that was a hot mess. But I mean, the situation was bad, but when you're on a fire ground, you get people psychologically messed up. It's like everyone else can be a screwball, but like you're the adult in the room, you got to keep your wits. I mean, these people were like, you got to get your crap together.
Yeah.
And it was like herding cats trying to get these people to do stuff and not hurt themselves, because they're so out. And then finally, we just had the mutual aid departments. I was on a mutual aid department. It was not our fire. It was another town's fire. And we just got those people all from that town just out of there. We sent them over there to the incident command vehicle and just said, you guys just stay over there. And our
did the
chief
recovery,
officer took
yeah.
over. Yeah. I think it was Kurt. Yeah, I think he was the highest ranking guy there of our group. So we just took over and just told them to get, because I mean they're like walking in the way of people. I'm working with an axe, and I had a guy walk right in front of me with an axe.
Mm.
I'm like, wow, you people, they were like zombies.
Jim was Sparky a lot for Fire Safety Week. The guy who dresses up as Sparky. He was Sparky quite a bit.
Oh, Sparky's here's something you don't know about. When you dress up in one of those mascot animals, kids run up and hug you. When you have a kid run up and hug you, and they're like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years old, you know where their head is compared to your upright posture? They would hit you at pretty much a full run. And it'd be like, oh my God. And then once in a while, they try to climb up on you, and I feel like saying, hey, kid, that's not a handle. But you just kind of got to go with it. You're wearing these pants that don't have a lining in them. It's like wearing like weird slacks or whatever. These kids are trying to climb you and run straight smack into you.
They have to have his fire department. They'd have a helper would be with Sparky, because Sparky can't see low because of how the head is. You know what I mean? So you lose visual of these kids coming into you.
It's like driving a 4-wheel drive truck. When they get too close to you, you can't see them anymore, but you brace for impact because you know they're going to hit you. So anyway, you'd have Sparky. Well, during fire safety, you could handle yourself. But when you go to like school, when you take Sparky to places, Sparky definitely needs a handler, because those kids, I mean, they'll be hanging on your legs and trying to pull you down and try to rip your tail off.
So you were like a K-pop band? They're just going crazy for you?
Yeah, they go crazy for Sparky.
You're like BTS or something.
You have to wear a baseball cap when you're playing Sparky.
Oh man, yeah, Sparky was fun. And then you got to be animated, and you can do all this goofy stuff because people don't know who you are and stuff. So you can like grab the teachers and stuff, and it's pretty funny. Because you get these people that never did Sparky before, they just walk out like a regular person. Well, when you walk out, you got to do like this bouncy, weird walk where you lift
like
up your
a cartoon
knees.
animal.
Yeah, and your arms have got to be moving and stuff. You got to walk. A guy showed me how to do it, so I do that. And yeah, the kids go wild. The goofier you make your movements, the more the kids like it. Anyway, yeah, I actually enjoyed Sparky. But then once you get better, when you first start out, they put you on Sparky. But once you get to know, the training for the kids, like how to get out of the house, whatever, they promote you out of Sparky. So you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't get to stay Sparky. It's usually a new guy's the Sparky. Because Sparky doesn't have to know anything. He doesn't talk.
He's just a dumb dog.
Yeah, because dogs don't talk.
With fire pants on.
Sparky, give me a hug. Bam.
That's what they do go crazy for. I mean, it is funny. It's like Disneyland, like if they see Mickey Mouse, I mean, they're like that for Sparky too. It's like, and they all go in unison. The minute Sparky comes out, it's like Sparky, and they just go crazy. Got these squeaky kid voices shouting Sparky.
Yeah, we were at Texas or the Texas Rangers baseball game a couple of months ago, and the mascot dude came around, and he had a handler that would, pretty much tell the kids to line up, and you can shake his hand.
Yeah.
Well, at Disney too, if you ever
can't.
notice, like the ones that dress like Mickey and Minnie and stuff, they all have a helper too, because you can't see in that thing very good. You like lose
Yeah.
visual of kids easily.
Well, even in Washington D.C., they had that Easter Bunny. That Easter Bunny had a hand. Oh no! Wait a minute. The Easter Bunny was Biden's handler.
Okay.
Okay. No. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. That doesn't make sense.
Smart ass.
Isn't didn't it in Chevy Chase in those movies, didn't they call him Sparky?
Oh yeah. Or
Or she
that was
called
like that was
the
like
wife.
the wife's nickname for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, can
In
Sparky come
National
out and play or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was like her nickname for him.
uh, Sparky the fire dog.
Yeah.
Shoot. When I was a kid, man, I was a fire bug. I couldn't wait. About the only reason I would like to go on campouts with the scouts
Like
when I was
fire.
little was so I could play in the fire. Man, I was.
Yeah, Jim's oldest son was a firebug and was like setting fires in trash cans at the house. So he made his wife spank him. He's like, I gotta go to work, but you're gonna have to spank that kid. That wasn't me. It was his first wife.
When me and my buddy were probably about, I don't know, maybe 9 years old, we figured out that if there's kids in the room, cover their ears. We figured out that if you took a coffee can and put a rag in it and put about 2 cups of diesel fuel in it, the rag was a wick. You light the rag in the diesel can. Okay, so that's kind of cool. We're burning diesel. You can burn because we knew it didn't burn like gasoline. We're like, what happens if you add air to it? So he got his mom's plant sprayer. You'd have to put a little bit of water in a plant sprayer so it could build up pressure. So but you'd pump the daylights out of that thing, and then we blew air in it. Well, we both started on fire because it made like this mushroom cloud of flame, comes straight up out of the coffee can about 4 feet, and then turns into a flaming mushroom cloud. It's awesome to see. Well, we both get caught on fire because it splashes burning diesel. We put each other out, and we're like, okay, we got to take turns. So he wore he had like a flight deck jacket that was like fire retardant. Because his dad was in the
Oh,
Navy.
it probably was worth money too.
Probably.
Now it would be worth money.
Because he did ask what happened to his coat. So we take turns. The person who lit it would duck their head down and then put the tube in the front of the thing with gloves on, and then hit the air and then make this huge. We really let it whip, make this huge cloud, and then the person behind him would watch it and then pat him out. The person who lit it, and then you take turns. So one of us would watch the flame, and one of us would actually put the air in. And we do this for hours. We just, you should have saw that cloud. It was great. We keep making these flaming mushroom clouds. We thought it was awesome. So anyway, yeah, fire is fun. Just don't burn yourself.
Yeah, I remember would have these fire starting contests, and there was like 2 sticks coming up out of the ground and a string between them, and okay, kids, the first man that can start a fire from scratch and burn the string is you get the camper fire starter award.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. See, I was never supervised, so I never got to go to events like that.
You had to make your own fire with diesel.
Well, I was great.
I
grew up in the 70s. It was like, yeah, they'd pretty much just turn you loose. They'd call you when it was lunch, and they'd call you when it was supper. Otherwise, you're pretty much on the loose.
Yeah.
Until it was feeding time, you're like a cow. Nobody really cared where you're at. It's time to feed.
Yeah. My uncle would whistle for me like a dog. I can't do it, but like where people can put their fingers in their mouth and whistle like super loud. That's how they would call me in out of the field or woods or wherever I was playing.
Doused the leaf pile.
He burnt his eyebrows off burning leaves.
Good times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about like mowing your yard when you put too much oil in it.
Yeah. Jim's little brother set the woods on fire. I mean, burnt like over an acre of woods, setting
Oh
it
my
on fire.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hard to do.
No, especially when it's dry. Well, it is exciting though. I mean, when you set a little bit of a woods fire, there's that moment where you think it's out of control. You do get a little bit of a rush of excitement from it when you're like, oh my God, can I put this out? When you're running around with rakes and stuff or whatever.
Oh gosh, great stories.
Well, not very educational, probably.
Yeah, how to blow yourself up.
Yeah.
I remember I had some rubber-soled boots that I wore to camp, and I got too close to the fire, and the toe caught on fire. So I'm running around stomping, and so got the fire put out. I thought, well, that was cool. And it didn't burn my foot, I guess, because the boots were thick enough. So I did it again.
Yeah.
And then my dad looked at the boots a couple of weeks later and said, well, these boots sure have funny wear on the toes. Because some of that toe had worn away,
Yeah.
or melted away.
No, we used to, when I was a kid, because we'd go out on snowmobiles, me and my friends and other kids. We didn't have any adult. But what we do is, these are old 70s snowmobiles. They have like a handlebar off the back. So one person would drive, and then you'd lay on the ground and hang onto the handlebar and get drug all over the place on your belly. You know what I mean? Just all over the place. And I'd come home, and they're like, what is with your snowsuit? Because you always be like sewing, my knees could be ripped. They'd be sewing. This is back when you'd sew shit to fix it. They'd be sewing him like, what are you doing? Why? I don't know. It must be thin material or something. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, we're dragging each other around on these snows. I mean, we're not going slow. We're doing, 25, 30 miles an hour, dragging people on their belly, hanging on
Yeah.
the back of snowmobile.
The funny thing is, though, years and years later, I will still ask Tara something, and she'll say, "Oh, well, I don't know." And I have a sneaky suspicion she does know.
Yeah.
So, on another topic, the Fed raised the interest rates
I
another
heard 3/4%,
0.75.
right? 3/4%.
And then they said, okay, and we're not done.
Yeah. I heard on
Gonna
the
go up
radio
more.
that like because they say the average house, I don't carry this much in credit card debt, but they say the average household's credit card debt is like, let's say $6,200, that because of what the interest rates are with the interest, if the payments, you're paying like an extra $1,500 or something in interest payments on that. I don't like it because I think it makes people, between inflation and prices going up, and then you have these, if you have people have car payments, if you have mortgage payments or credit card payments, and these payments are going up, I think people get spookier and not as free with, buying stuff from me on eBay. I mean, we've been doing all right, but I mean, that worries me a little bit.
Ugh.
If you're printing money, creating inflation, and you're raising interest rates to try to stop inflation, it's like somebody at one end of the boat with an auger bit drilling holes in the boat, and the other person at the back end of the boat trying to bail out the boat with a bucket. I mean, you'd say that was ridiculous, but that's exactly what we're doing. I mean, they're doing like this quantitative easing on one end of the boat, and they're raising interest rates to stop inflation on the opposite end of the boat. So Well, anyway, my theory is they're trying to destroy the economy to bring in socialism, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I'm definitely right on printing money and raising inflation.
Yeah.
Because how high do you have to raise interest rates before people stop buying? It's like training a dog to not eat. By the time you do it, the dog starves to death.
Yeah.
There's no way. You're not gonna. People are buying. Prices are going up on fuel and food.
It does help
You're
the
not going to
banks,
raising interest rates. It's not going to slow that purchase
because
down.
if the dollar's weaker, it does help the banks where they can get higher interest now to offset
Well, the banks will come through this
Yeah.
good. That didn't worry.
Yeah, I was worried too. So I was worried. It does
James,
help.
I think we got a little bit farther for the housing prices to fall before buying.
Well, I will say I think the real estate market's slowing down. I don't know if you have the buyer pool that you did 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the people are going to get where interest rates are driving up the mortgage payments so high. People
Yeah, true.
are going to have trouble buying
I
a
mean,
house.
I don't have a mortgage on my house, but what's the going interest rate for a mortgage? Is it like 7% or something, or 6.5%? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's around there.
Yeah. Where 2 years ago you could still get them around like 3 or something.
Yeah.
So
So the best thing if you're going to buy real estate is to pay cash. But wait until the market completely drops before you do.
Well, honestly, if you look at it that way, like let's say you had, I'll just say $100,000, and you go put that $100,000 into a piece of real estate. That $100,000 is worth more sitting invested in a piece of real estate than it does sitting in your bank account, not getting much interest. And with the inflation, it'll be worth less. You lose value on the dollar.
When you go to sell the money in the bank, you're going to get face value, less whatever inflation has devalued it. So let's say you had 100,000, it loses $20,000, 20% value. So you really got $80,000. When you go to sell the house that you bought for 100, you're probably going to wind up selling for 250.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's not that the way society works. There is no encouragement for savings.
Oh, wood's gone in like 2x4s, and like I had to buy some 4x4s like a year ago, and I paid like $100 for 3 4x4s, and now they're down, I think, like by half at least at Menards here anyway. Because I had to buy some more lumber. I was kind of hoping that the prices would roll down.
Yeah.
And 2x4s at Menards and stuff are cheaper.
It's still higher than what it was. I worked at Home Depot, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and OSB was about $9 a sheet.
Yeah, we used to
John
buy.
was saying it's down to
Jim
15.
We were selling a lot of snowmobile engines when we were in Wisconsin and that, and Jim would make those crates. He was buying that OSB, and it really wasn't that expensive to buy. But yes, it did get quite expensive. I mean, now we haven't been making any crates anymore. Yeah, I heard somewhere too that the shipping rates are going to go up for like UPS and FedEx and stuff.
Great.
Well, I mean, honestly though, I mean, it sucks, but I mean, with the price of diesel, I mean, it's going to almost have to. I mean, because all those trucks are diesel trucks.
Oh, yeah. But
it's the same as anything else. When you have to put it in a semi-trailer to have it delivered from point A to point B, they're not going to eat that cost. They're going to pass it on to the consumer.
yeah, but Scott was saying yesterday, America's down to a 20-day supply of diesel.
Well, yeah, because I know, like, because fuel oil is diesel, like, and I think a lot of homes up on the East Coast still do use fuel oil. Yeah, I know the East Coast was really getting hit hard with the diesel thing. Why aren't they making more diesel? Do you know why is there going to be a diesel shortage? Is it just because of heating oil, or why is the problem?
Granholm said right after the election that we should leave petroleum in the ground. Huh. So what happened? Oh yeah, prices went up.
No, but why is there a diesel shortage?
There won't be when it gets up to $7 a gallon. You'll be able to buy it everywhere.
Oh, okay.
It's supply. It's pricing. You gotta get the price up.
Hmm.
If you artificially hold a price down, you're gonna have short market do what it's supposed to do. Let the price go up, then the supply goes up because less people can afford it. That's the way everybody calls it trickle down, but that's the way supply side economics works.
Hmm.
And that's why you shouldn't have like things. Well, you can't price gouge on toilet paper. I'd rather pay $20 for a pack of toilet paper and have the toilet paper be in the effing store than have no toilet paper because you kept the price down $6 and somebody came in and bought 8 shopping carts full with their whole damn family, and wiped out supply. So if you like these shortages that you had during COVID, if you would have just let the marketplace do what it's supposed to do, people would have, paid $20 for a pack of toilet paper, but at least they'd have had toilet paper.
True.
I mean, so there's 2 ways to look at that. I'd rather pay the extra and have the toilet paper. Because how many times can you wipe yourself with a $20 bill?
Wow, tomatoes are $40 for a 20-pound box. Wow. Well, again, you got to use like farming equipment, diesel, and you got to put it on a semi to deliver it.
And here's when the other shoe's going to fall is when the prices go up. Eventually the market does adjust. So what happens is people stop buying the overpriced stuff, but the manufacturer can't reduce their prices because their prices have been artificially inflated by stuff like overpriced fuel and whatnot. So the price spikes aren't from demand. The price spikes are from the cost of production. So what happens is your customers can't afford what you're selling, but you can't lower your prices, and that's what happened in the 70s. Everything was expensive, and nobody could afford to buy it. The next thing's unemployment, and that's what you're going to see. This record employment stuff, that's going to go right out the window. You're going to have record high unemployment. It's going to hit 1930s levels.
Oh, it's like the Good News Review here this morning.
Well, it's a fact. I mean, and the current course, it's exactly where we're headed. Well, that's like saying the car's skidding off the road, and you saying, "Oh, the car's going off the road." Well, don't be negative. If your car's spinning in circles going down the road,
sometimes people don't like to hear negative.
The odds are you're going to leave the roadway or be struck by another vehicle.
I would say groceries are up by at least 20%. And I use this because me and Jim, he buys this Walmart Great Value brand ice cream, and it used to be like $1.94, and now it's like $2.25. I'm like, oh wow, that made a big jump in the last month. I mean, and yeah, it's only 30 cents or whatever, but you start adding it up on groceries across the board, and I mean, I can feel it when I go buy groceries. I mean, groceries are a lot more expensive than they were 5 months ago.
I'm not going to give up ice cream because those arteries are not going to clog themselves.
Well, if it's going to be toilet paper or ice cream, you're going to have to choose wisely.
I want toilet paper and ice cream. I want to eat ice cream when I'm in the bathroom.
Okay. Oh, gross.
Oh my God, when I was in Catholic school, graded school, those girls would eat lunch. They'd sneak out. They'd say they had to go to the bathroom, and they'd take their lunch with them. They'd eat lunch in the bathroom and chit chat. And when I was a kid, I was like, that is so gross. I would never eat any public restroom eating food. I mean, that's the worst.
I never even heard of Yemeni almonds. Am I saying it right? Yemeni?
Yemeni, yeah, from Yemen.
Yemen. Yemen with an I at the end?
Oh, yeah, well.
Yemeni?
Yemeni would be from Yemen.
Mm-hmm.
Something from Yemen.
I was just telling Jim this morning because here, this house, and I would have never thought down here I would have ended up with this kind of house because I lived at the top of Wisconsin and didn't have it. This thing has an outdoor wood boiler, so it burns wood outside. That's how we heat our house.
And heats our hot water.
And it heats our hot water too. But actually, I'm really glad that I don't have to have like propane, natural gas, or down here you have a lot of people that have electric heat, which our electric bill has gone up by like $40 a month. I mean, from when we first moved.
Yeah, our electric bill on low months when we had the wood boiler going would be like $80-some, and now it's going to be. I figured it out. It's going to be about $130 no matter what we do because of the add-on, the fuel environmental surcharge and the fuel surcharge. Which the fuel surcharge is going to go up again because, well, if we're running out of diesel.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know how that. Remember in the 70s, Todd, when you had the gasoline lines, they ended They ended when they raised the price of fuel.
Mm.
They got the price of gas high enough where people
Oh,
they quit buying it.
that was all a made-up deal. There was never a shortage. I lived
No.
in an oil refinery town growing up, and yeah, there was no shortage.
But they got the prices up.
They just
Yeah, but wasn't that another thing? And I'm a child in the '70s, so I don't really know. But isn't that another thing when
It was OPEC too.
it was OPEC, because didn't they cut U.S. production, and then we were buying more oil from like the
And
Arabian
I don't know,
countries?
Todd. Do you know why they cut U.S. production when that OPEC thing was going on? Or was it just to make money, or was there some problem with the U.S. production?
yeah, I think the U.S. oil companies just jumped on the bandwagon and say, hey, this oil embargo and stuff is making the prices go up. We better cut back so we can get more for our gasoline too.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on right now too.
So,
well, we got a pretty strong guy running the thing, so maybe he'll go to them and be able to convince them to
probably
get the prices right. Yeah, this two-beer man.
oh yeah.
You give up in the next 6 years. I think you're going to see some real positive changes. It's only 6 years.
6 more years.
He's gonna get it nailed down. He's gonna
really hit his stride.
He's gonna get this boat upright again.
I don't remember gas lines, but I was born in '73, so I guess I'd have been pretty young if there was any when I was little.
I remember it, but I mean, I was busy burning down woodsheds and stuff. I wasn't paying attention to the news.
You were wasting gas burning down.
Yeah, we were wasting deep starting fires. So I really didn't watch 60 Minutes.
Yeah. And old Sleepy Joe, he said, oh, oil companies are making too much money now. Let's find a way to tax them. Oh, great.
Well, it's taxing all, isn't it? Like, it's something like a bunch of corporations that make over $1 billion or whatever the hell the number is. But then when they did the list, there's only like 14 of them that make over that.
Yeah, if they don't support the oil industry in the U.S., things are going to get really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, at least, even if you don't support it, stay out of the way. It's just,
well, you can't depend on
free enterprise at work.
Look at Europe. I mean, you can't depend on a foreign power for supplying your energy source or being your sole provider, your energy source. And electric ain't there yet because they use natural gas or whatever, coal fire or whatever they do to produce the electricity. So you're not getting away from fossil fuel by just going to electric.
No, and if you buy it from, how is Saudi oil, when you burn Saudi oil, how is that cleaner than when you burn U.S. oil?
Well, and the other thing is you have to put it on a tanker across the ocean, burning how much diesel to send this tanker across the ocean to bring it to our refineries and ports in the U.S. I mean, if you look at it that way.
And you shut down a pipeline, which is basically no emissions.
Yeah, that was a brilliant move.
Emits stuff that hauls it, the tanker.
Oh, man. I broke my little tape measure.
Were you bending the tape back?
No, I was not. No, I wasn't. I was putting it in and out, and I broke the tip off of it. Not because it's inside.
I'm not touching that one.
See, it went inside. It's gone.
Okay.
The tab's off of it. Anyway.
Well, just got an offer of $300 from a $480 coin set. No thanks.
What are you talking about? Oh, your coins you bought?
Yeah, I put some of them on eBay, and I got an awesome offer of $300 for a $480 coin set.
How'd you do it? How's your Hackamore doing? Did you get any action on that?
I put it on auction at 100. Let me look at it. That's an interesting piece. I didn't know that much about it. Thanks for helping out, Tara.
You're welcome.
Let's see, where are we at on this puppy? Oh, it's only had 3 views. 0 bids.
Yeah.
Because people
Honestly,
don't
I
want
didn't
to
really
hire.
know that. What is his name? Roy Robertson or something? I really didn't know because I never did like what I call like Western ranch horse type stuff. I didn't know he had his bits were worth that much.
Yeah, I
But
didn't
I'll tell
either.
you,
I mean, I don't think he was in mass production. I think he just
yeah, he was a bit
had a
maker.
small
Yeah.
factory or something that
Oh, you get
wasn't
that
like,
though with like even like leather head stalls or that. You'll have some smaller saddle maker, and you'll have like people are desired item. But I'll tell you something that does good, and you might run into this down there. I bought a big tote full of, and nobody would ride with these really anymore. Like wooden Western stirrups. Some of them were in pairs, some of them were on their own. Those things sold like crazy. I mean, I sold. I think the whole tub I paid like $3 or $4 for, and I sold over $250 worth of stirrups out of it.
well,
Yeah, and they're just like what I would call those 1950s wood stirrups. There
Oh, they're
were,
making ups out of them.
yeah, they're making deck or using them for decor, but and then there were a few that were a little more primitive that were like hand
We
carved
just
and
sold
stuff
two of
like
them.
that.
I think the last
Yeah.
one we just sold this week.
Anyway, so if you see them, they actually do pretty good.
But they got to be wood.
I sold a pair of aluminum ones out of there though, and I did all right with those too. I mean, I got like $35 for those aluminum ones.
yeah. That
But
I looked up that uh, bit manufacturer, and looks like he's more known for making spurs
Oh, really? Huh.
than the hackamores and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked it up on eBay, all the solds are pretty much Western curb bits and stuff. But I mean, there was no hackamores listed or anything like that. There was a hackamore that somebody had for sale, like over on a ranch horse classified site, and they were trying to get 100 and a quarter for it.
Yeah, if
Where'd you find it at a rummage sale?
it was a family run estate sale.
Oh, cool.
I bought a whole bunch of stuff that
Well,
day.
did they have any other tack or no?
Uh, yeah, I got a pair of spurs. Um, I got some roping ropes.
Yeah, those don't usually do real great, but people will buy them for decoration.
yeah, but down there maybe
Yeah.
they do better.
People will make like wreaths
Um,
out of them and stuff.
they didn't have just a ton of it. They had quite a few tools though. I bought some tools.
Mm,
Just general. If you live on a farm, you got to have half of a barn full of tools. So
true that.
Yeah, tools here are out of reach. They go crazy for them.
Yeah, they do go high here.
and the guy was into CB and ham radio, and I bought some of that stuff. That stuff sold fast and for
Yeah,
good money.
that does good.
Yeah.
We had like those Halicrafter,
Shortwaves or
and
whatever.
Heath kit. I mean, yeah, that short all that anything to do with shortwave does really good. I don't know anybody who actually does it. Well, I knew one guy, but he's dead. Oh, I know a couple guys, and they're both dead. I don't know who still does shortwave radio, but yeah, there's a real following for that. They're out there somewhere.
Getting ready for
Yeah.
the apocalypse, communicating on their shortwave radios.
Apocalypse, I ain't telling nobody where I'm at.
I'm not
I
talking,
ain't talking to
anybody.
nobody. If I learned anything from Walking Dead, it is avoid people after the apocalypse.
God, another low ball offer. Let's look at this one.
Oh, on your coin. Yeah, you'll get that on that kind of stuff.
Well, I think because right now you have people who are either actually or scared they're going to be in financial dire straits. So I think you got a lot of people cutting their throat. So you got the offer people are taking advantage of it.
I did sell a book of Mercury dimes yesterday for $325.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how many dimes are in a book? Roughly. You don't have to be exact, just roughly.
Let's see. Well, the
30?
complete set, which this was the complete set except for the one that's really expensive.
Mm.
Let's see. Let me look at it. I haven't shipped it yet. 77 coins, so the full set of Mercury dimes is 78 coins. Yep. That was a good sale. I gave 120 for this set.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really good margins for anything that's silver. Do, do, do. See that one, even in the book, they put a little cardboard cover on the one that's almost impossible to get
Hmm.
because they only minted just very few of them compared to the other. They minted like millions and millions of
Oh yeah, I
Mercury
see it up
dimes.
there at the top.
Yeah, but the one that's it's blanked out there is 1916D. If you find a 1916, they only made 264,000.
Hmm.
But the very next coin they made 10.5 million,
Wow.
and the coin after that 55
What's the
million.
one? What's the one worth? The one D coin worth?
Oh gosh, if you get one in good condition and get it graded, I don't know, probably $20,000.
Oh wow. I see
And
they even
just
got rare on the thing. That's cool.
yeah, so this set is complete except for that one. But these aren't in brilliant uncirculated condition. These are all circulated, really circulated condition.
Yeah.
I think you got a lot of kids who would fill those books. You know, they'd be going through their parents' change or whatever, trying to fill the book or whatever. So you get a lot of
Yeah.
scratch and dent.
Hmm.
So 78 total years and mintages.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's check this low ball offer. Do, 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 do. Oh, that's a different one. Anyway, what else is going on in the world? Stock market's going down.
Yeah, I suppose because the Fed came out with the interest rate hike, huh?
Yeah, and the fact that countries run out of diesel. Oh, I don't know. Winning.
Ugh. Standard and Poor's is down 55 points.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Lag are rebuying it when it hits 3,200, right, Lag? And right now it's 3,700.
I guess I'll
Respond to.
probably just invest in junk.
I don't think anybody right now is investing though. I think everybody's waiting. No matter what side you want to see things go, everybody's gonna be waiting for the election. You know, see what's gonna happen.
Jim would see that in real estate, and even with midterms, you get like people just
More with presidential, but
they get where they just wouldn't
the,
move very
yeah,
quick.
the 2 months before presidential election, you see real estate really slows down because it doesn't matter what.
Except for this past one with Biden and Trump, real estate was pretty. Cause that's when your mom was buying that house down here, and real estate was real
Well,
strong.
everybody knew that that an
Interest rates are
hike
going
was
to go
coming.
up.
Yeah. What they didn't know was they might not have a job to make the payments.
True.
Then life
Ugh.
hit you in the face.
Oh yeah, lag keeps going down. I'm gonna buy it 3,200. No, I changed my mind. Now it's 3,000.
Hmm.
I'm too broke to buy anything.
I
Yeah.
waited until Braniff stock went way down before I got in.
Oh yeah, you bought that brand of
I
stock.
bought $500 worth of Braniff stock. That didn't work out too good.
Oh, and you were a kid.
Yeah. My dad said I'm going in on this tip because he wanted to go in with me, so I gave him $500. So, like, and I'm probably like a freshman in high school, so I'm like, Dad, where's my five? Do I get any of my $500? No. So I learned
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, I bought $700 worth of a gold mine, and yeah, it went to zero.
Oh really?
Yep.
Was it like a gold mine in America?
Yeah.
Cool. Huh.
So.
Well, you could say though, I mean, the satisfaction of saying, "Hey, I own part of a gold mine." You know, it makes you sound like a big, makes you sound like a big, like you
Sugar
got
daddy.
some real moxie behind you.
Yep.
Yeah, I was not. Oh no, I guess I was older. I was in high. I was I would have been a senior in high school when Braniff folded up in May of '82. I gave him. He got this hot tip at work. Oh yeah, Braniff, they're gonna come back, so the stock's gonna go way up. Okay, so I gave him $500 to buy Braniff stock, and that was that. He probably knew it was gonna fold. Pocketed my $500 and just told me.
Yeah, lag.
Mr.
I don't
Tate
know if
will
it.
sell you a gold mine for $500 too.
I know I thought this in 2008 when they bailed out all the banks and stuff, and they brought the economy back, but I don't know. I think they've spent about as much. I hope they're learning their lesson that if you print all this money, inflation's going to go up.
They don't learn shit, Todd.
Well, yeah.
There's always like for us, if this affects you, whatever, because of inflation or whatever. But there's somebody higher up the food chain that is getting benefit from this. You know.
You got to follow the money. I mean, that's you know where it ends. You know where it ends with somebody filling their pockets. You just got to figure out who and why. Because nothing happens for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, when your wife asks you a question and you say, "Well, why are you asking me that?" Oh, no reason. You know that's not true. She's asking you the question.
Maybe she's just curious and wants to know.
Yeah, no.
I do.
There's always a reason.
No,
Yeah,
I just
you
will ask.
especially.
No, all I'm asking is like just making conversation because I'm curious about something.
You never ask me anything for just conversation.
Yeah.
It's like when my ex-wife would call. She talked to me about all these things under the sun, and at the end of the conversation was she wants money.
Oh boy.
I never had a conversation with my ex after we were divorced that didn't end up with where I need money. When someone who despises you calls you and tries to act friendly, they're looking for something.
Oh boy.
I wonder how many people despise me. Probably quite a few.
Well, you're lucky you don't have an ex-wife, Todd.
Well, you know, when you think about it, are people just nice because they're nice people and underneath they just hate your guts?
No, I'm nice to you because I'm actually a nice person, Todd. I don't hate you. I'm gonna invest in some of those Powerball tickets because nobody won last night. I heard.
Do what?
I said I'm gonna invest in some of those Powerball tickets because nobody won last night.
Oh, is it?
It's like 1.2 billion now, or 1.25, or I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I could retire on that much.
There you go. I don't know. A billion ain't worth as much as it used to be.
Sadie's like me, so yes, he despises me. Ugh.
Probably when you're beating him in poker, he really despises you.
I did beat him last night. I made $2 more than Sadie did last night in playing poker.
Oh, you're just like the gambler. You're like Kenny Rogers or something.
Oh my God, Pan Am has been up.
Oh yeah, my mom used to fly Pan Am a lot.
I know.
She used to have all those Pan Am bags and everything.
I can't believe it been gone. I thought maybe it was like 1991. That's a long time.
Well, hey, it ain't that long ago. I graduated high school in 91.
Oh, and Eastern went out of business the same year. Eastern and Pan Am both went under in 91.
Jim's down the airline.
Yeah, he's in there.
Defunct.
Oh yeah, how would you like to own one of those? Have a commercial airliner got a fuel up?
Yeah.
I'm sure. Where I don't know, they don't burn avgas. They think they burn some type of diesel,
I don't-
high grade diesel.
Well,
But yeah, I
it's
mean,
way above my pay grade.
you better have a full plane. I think that's what happened with those weather cancellations when there was like clear blue sky, and they were canceling the flights for weather. I think what was happening was they didn't have a full plane, and they didn't want to send out the flight until the plane was full.
I think
because
I
of the cost
heard-
of fuel.
Unless
That's
I'm nuts,
right.
I think I just heard like in the last this week on the news that they're like these airlines are converting less seating in first class and making it like business and economy because you just don't have as many people that are ponying up for like first class tickets.
Oh yeah, and it's economy. Who the hell would?
Yeah. I don't even like to
Sadie,
fly.
you're not supposed to point that out. He actually finished with more money than I did because he only bought in one time and I bought in twice. What airline are you invested in, Lag? Air America? Making drops to Yemen?
Did she say making drops to Yemen?
Yemen?
Oh, Yemen. Okay.
Yemen, we're off on a tangent. All right, we're gonna shut her down, folks.
It's running out of steam. It's time to wrap it
There's
up.
a time wore on, the talent wore out.
Yeah. Oh, nice weather here in
Where the hell
southern
is
Alabama.
everybody? Where's like Tom and everybody?
Tom has been really busy lately for whatever reason.
You better get on busy.
He's being cryptic about why he's so gone.
Well, he was in the chat last night, so if he can be in the chat, he can be in here.
No, nobody's sick.
I know. Yeah. I think his wife still does a lot of her business from the house, and he doesn't want to bother her and stuff like that.
To be in a hangout when she's working from home. You know, she's all working and stuff, and we're goofing around. And
yeah, I need to try some good old paint stripper. I think I should have some
well, get
paint
your
stripper
wire wheel
somewhere.
out. Put your wire wheel on a drill, and then just take that all off.
On what?
Paint on a knife blade.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a coin. Yeah, those steel wire wheels.
Yeah, get the real harsh one, the steel one. Just strip that right
Coins,
off.
antique guns.
Antique guns, you can make them look real nice when you do that. You can get all that bluing off and patina.
Or use that 100 grit sandpaper.
Yep. Sally's gone. Tom's gone. I'm the only one. I'm the last soldier.
Your last man standing.
I got my survival knife though, so I'll make it.
Todd's gonna be the one that's gonna make it for the long haul.
That's right.
Well,
I got my machete.
Those original Rambo knives, and especially if they're in the box, yeah, those are some money. Remember when everyone went crazy for the Rambo, but you gotta get the legitimate Rambo survival knife.
Well, this one's military. This is Ontario. It is kind of Rambo-esque style, though.
I got one of those beauty.
It's missing the saw things at the top for Rambo. He always had the one with the.
Oh yeah, the one with the little saw notches on the top of the blade.
Yeah, I have the Air Force.
That one's just made for killing.
I don't know if that's Ontario or not. It's some other big. The Air Force one, but it's really wimpy.
Mm. It's mostly for cutting parachute cords and stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel.
All right.
Gotta go do
I gotta
battle
go do
with
it.
the
I got an
Lutherans.
auction pickup I gotta go do today. So.
Yeah, I bought 3 lots at the auction Sunday. So I just called them and said, "Can you hold that until the next auction and I'll buy some more?" They said, "Sure."
The little Air Force one's an Ontario knife
Oh,
too.
Jim's is in Ontario too.
So it's got like a 4-inch blade. It looks like a Cub Scout knife. They must figure the odds of the Air Force guys surviving the crash isn't good, so we don't really have to give them a very good survival knife.
Yeah.
I like the.
All right.
Okay.
Todd's wrapping it
Yeah,
up.
I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, we're done. Jim's
We're
got
done.
more stories.
Say, we're done.
Come back on tomorrow and finish your story, Jim.
All right.
All right. Good. Have a good day, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.